Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Not My Shop. We're here at the Wizards, and here is a Toyota.
Gross.
Yep.
And a Tyler.
And a Tyler. This is my friend's second generation Scion TC. Really good car. He bought it after his Honda S2000 caught on fire, and it's been a good, reliable form of transportation. You might remember a while ago we put about $3,000 worth of audio equipment into this, teared the whole interior apart, put in sound deadening, and made it a concert hall on wheels. Now that's all fine and good. Unfortunately, a common Scion TC malady has struck this car, and the input shaft bearing has left the chat. It actually left the chat about 8 months ago, and now it's so bad the car won't stay in gear. So Tyler and I are going to yank the transmission out and see if it's savable, because a new transmission is $2,000. That's the cheapest we could find. Luckily in town, but the owner doesn't really have the money for that. So we're going to see if the bearing is still in one piece. Well, we're going to see what the gear train looks like. The bearing most likely is not in one piece. I'm guessing at this point the balls have fallen out of the bearing and are rattling around inside the transmission case, and that's allowing the input shaft to wobble so much the gears are not consistently meshing. My worry is the gears slipping against each other has cracked and damaged them. Metal shavings has cracked and metal shavings has damaged other bearings, and probably other stuff. It also doesn't go in reverse anymore for some reason.
And I think you lost 6th, right?
Yeah, as you can see in this video, it pops out of 6th gear on the highway if you load and unload the transmission. Update. Oh, it's back. I lost 6th gear for a minute. Okay. Cool. Oh, God. That is... And this isn't like a misuse or abuse or a wear thing. Toyota just did a really questionable thing and used sealed grease bearings for the input shaft on these instead of a continually soaked wet bearing. I believe part of the replacement procedure is actually drilling into an oil passageway and making the new bearing continually oiled, right?
Yeah, it's got a spacer that we saw that the dude drilled a hole in it to create an oil passageway, and then they took the covers off the bearing. So
yeah, I don't know what it is with the TCs. The first generation had so many had terribly loose oil control rings like a BMW, except so bad that the engines would eat themselves all the time. And then this one has transmission issues, so Toyota just can't build a powertrain apparently. And what's interesting is this is the only car this transmission was used in here in the US. The only other car that ever had this transmission is the European spec CHR.
Yeah.
And some sedan that nobody's ever heard of. Despite Toyota having the Corolla engine and transmission, they did weird stuff with Scion and used weird things. Now, the interesting thing about this is that this means in theory you could manual swap a CHR. And I kind of love that, because the CHR is a funky little thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, especially the two-tone one that's teal with the white roof. Anyway,
let's do that.
So there's that needs to happen, but then also I have a box of goodies. Because I bought a motorcycle, and motorcycles need maintenance. So we have here the full 30,000 kilometer service kit for my Aprilia RSV Tuono. We've got a new air filter, even though you're just supposed to check and clean it. I'm going to replace it. OEM oil filter. We've got upgraded fuel quick disconnect fittings. The stock ones are plastic and they're prone to breaking. We've got coolant, we've got some Motul recommended oil, we've got the gasket for the oil filter, we've got a new set of spark plugs, crush washer, and brake and clutch fluids. So it's getting all new fluids, and also this thing. This is $160 worth of battery cables. Because Aprilia, well, just the Italians in general, don't understand how electricity works. and they always undersize their electrical systems. I did this myself on my Ducati using car audio wiring, but I just wanted something plug and play. This is the nicest bike I've ever had. I wanted to do it right, and $160 seemed like a small price to pay for a quality product. And as you can see, it comes wrapped in a stinking microfiber. So I think quality is what we've got there. So Tyler's still upset that I installed the dash cam faster than him in the last episode. So now's his chance to redeem himself while he pulls the transmission out of this faster than I can do a full service on a motorcycle, because those are totally equivalent and not at all. I mean, what's it supposed to be, 10 hours on this car?
R&R, yeah, it's 10-5 book.
Okay.
So
what do you think it books to do a full service on a Aprilia, like an hour or two? I think this is fair.
What is it in Jake time?
10 hours.
Meaning it'll be here this next coming week.
Oh
right?
yeah, I'm riding home with you.
driving
Yeah,
home.
I'm definitely riding home with you. This is not getting done today. Something's gonna go horribly wrong.
Okay, well, while Jake's doing Jake things, I'm gonna get this thing sent up on the lift, and I'm gonna go ahead and drain the fluid first, take a look at the chunks that we're inevitably gonna find, and we'll make a determination on whether or not we are gonna look for another transmission. So if we find bits of gear, all that good junk, then yeah, we're unfortunately gonna probably abandon this one and wait for another transmission. But if all looks okay and it's not too bad, then we'll go ahead and proceed dropping the training.
Hit it! Alright, Tyler, I'm already annoyed because this looks way easier than when Zeph and I did it, and you're not going to have to suffer near as much as we did.
Yeah.
It looks like Toyota actually made a decent evolution on their chassis design from the first gen. Most notably, the rear motor mount doesn't look like it bolts through 7 different things now, which is wonderful. Instead of a single middle subframe connector, it's got 2 side subframe connectors. They still have the fun bolt-on ball joints. Love that. This car is actually really clean underneath. There's no rust, nothing leaking.
Well, these ball joints being able to be unbolted will be a boon if we actually end up having to pull this rear section of the subframe.
Yeah.
Because then I can just unbolt this, and then unbolt these plates here, and then unbolt the steering rack, and then just drop this down.
These plates are exactly like the first gen. That's interesting.
Yeah, they're exactly like everything Toyota.
I also like the missing hardware,
Yeah.
which is missing in the exact same position on the other side. So clearly that was intentional.
Yeah. Maybe it's factory. I don't know.
Little for off-roading, I guess.
Hell yeah.
Clearly, little jack points. Those are cute. How adorable.
I think this is probably for the factory table fixture to drop the entire driveline out, which is what you're supposed to do on these.
Yeah.
But
That really
we're not going to do that because I don't want to pull the engine. I don't want to drain fluids. I don't want to discharge AC. I don't want to do any of that
draining
crap.
fluids, let's take a look under the rest of this.
Yeah.
Very clean.
I'm gonna go ahead and get this started.
Yeah. Good little car. Alec got this right before the market went all wacko in 2020. He bought this in 2019. I think he got it for $4,500. It's got about 100,000 miles on it. Pretty good deal. 6-speed manual. I love these goofy little mufflers these have. Actually, everything in the exhaust is that shape. Look at that. The resonator's the same shape, and so is the cat.
Meow.
Meow. Okay, speaking of draining things, I need to go drain the fluids out of the Aprilia. So we've got everything you need to work on an Italian motorcycle, which is just 14 different kinds of hex. Because reasons. So now is going to be the interesting part, draining the fluid out of the transmission.
Yeah, this is
How many teeth are going to be contained within?
that's the thing. I think if it's completely trashed, then his only option is going to be replacing this.
Yeah, if it is Chunky Monkey.
Yeah.
I do like how the subframe is right there to catch everything for us. That's
yeah,
just
and let
lovely.
it drain.
Yeah.
That way.
Thank
Actually,
you,
I have
Toyota.
a funnel.
Big hammer? Also, there's some kind of like turbo flu going around that I had last week. I still have a cough. It's the
No,
worst.
That's not gonna work.
If you get the flu, just give up. You're not doing anything for a week.
Jake, turbo flu. Jake's got wastegate rattle.
It's like, yeah, it's not COVID.
Tell him about your wastegate.
It's not as bad as COVID, but it's a different kind of absolute misery.
That might work. Kind of. It'll direct the fluid where we need it.
I do love a good fluid direction.
Is that what
It's my favorite website.
That's my favorite band.
Here, get the light over here. Yeah.
Oh wait, here. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
All right, ready? Moment of truth.
It's shiny. That's really shiny.
Wow. Oh, that doesn't smell good.
There's a lot of anti-seize in that transmission for some reason. Honestly, that's
Oh
not...
God, yeah, y'all are lucky that you can't smell this, cause good Lord, that's.
I kind of like it.
It smells like murky pool water. It looks like those drinks you buy that are like really expensive.
Wow. It looks pretty though.
It does look pretty.
I mean, it looks expensive, but it looks pretty.
it's a lot of fluid.
Oh wow, that is water thin.
Yeah, here.
Why is it so watery?
Why is there no viscosity?
Why?
Why is it still going?
Yeah.
How much is in this? This isn't. Quit sniffing
It
it.
smells vaguely like Cheez-Its. But like,
I have Cheez-Its.
Cheez-It.
They're in the break room.
Give me the Cheez-Its.
Got that real expensive laminar flow going on there. Oh.
Or DC Comics superhero, the Silver Streak. Now all the nerds are gonna be in my comments telling me that the Silver Streak is actually some other. I literally don't know. I'm not a comic person.
Well,
I'm just a funny person.
well, we don't have gear chunks.
Yeah.
So.
I guess we shall forge ahead. That's not like a show-stopping. That's about what That's better than I expected. I'll be honest. I expected the taste you can see. I'm gonna leave you to this, and I'm going to go bash my head against the wall recreationally in Minecraft. Hello and welcome to the part of the video where everyone clicks off because I'm not working on a car. This is my 2003 Aprilia Tuono, and it needs its 30,000 kilometer service. Thank you, David, for letting me use your shop. This thing is amazing. I need it in my life. There we are. Okay. So, step one, I guess, is to remove this belly fairing. So I'll just get that done real quick and get back to you.
I guess you'll need a drain pan, eh?
Yeah. So over here on the right side, we have the oil tank. This is a dry sump. And with the bike upright like this and still warm, we can see that our oil level is at max. So the Rotax mill in here has not been using any oil. What's it look like? Will it burn my hand? The answer to these questions and more. That looks fine. Not even all that dirty. It smells good too. Oh, there is another drain plug on the engine itself. Okay. And then there is our engine drain plug right in there. And this is the oil filter. So while that's dribbling out its last little bits, I'll get those taken out. So drain plugs out of the engine. Pretty minimal amount of stuff on the magnet, so that's pretty good. Filters out. It doesn't look too bad. There's a little bit of metal shavings. Pretty normal for a high-strung engine like this for there to be a little bit of metal in the oil. Not really anything to worry about too much, so I'm going to go ahead and throw the drain plugs back in. I think I've got new crush washers. and a new oil filter, and then we can start pouring the juice back in this thing. New oil filter. And pop our cover back on. New crush washer on the oil tank drain pan plug. And give it a little clean. Drain plug in. Engine drain plug in. And new filter. Let's go check in with Tyler. Hey, buddy. How's it going?
Not bad. Got a couple more bell housing bolts, pull the starter, and then figure out a way to support the engine, because we can't go this way because...
Oh, just put on the glass, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's already cracked.
Well, I'm thinking we'll probably straddle 2x4 across this way because this is metal, and then put it on the shock tower and then just ratchet strap it.
You don't have an actual engine hanger?
I don't want to tie it up because this thing's going to get pushed out today. All the clutch hydraulics loose, starters unbolted, or at least disconnected, battery trays out. So I've just got to hit mounts. Got mount here, mount there, and one at the back, and the subframe and the axles.
Nice.
So
I'm gonna go stand in front of the fan because I am dripping.
have you tried not doing that?
It's coolant time. This is found in the tail. Can you guess what it is yet? Da-da-da, it's a hood prop rod. So now the air cleaner needs to come out. And it's probably, let's see, there's the plugs. Oh, they're on the opposite side on the other head, it looks like. I don't know. This has 4 spark plugs for 2 cylinders, which is fun times. Hello, Tyler.
Hi. What am I doing?
I don't know, what are you doing?
Helping you.
Look at my air filter, it's very clean. I probably didn't need to replace it. Yeah, so this is the fuel line quick disconnect, and I'd never seen these hose clamps before, but Tyler has, so...
Yeah, they use them on bends a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you just pop them loose. You just pop them loose. There you go. And if you're real nice to them, they're reusable. Yeah, you just get you a pair of needle nose and come back here and squeeze them back together.
Okay, I'll take your word for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm working on the spark plugs, 2 per cylinder. These 2, pretty straightforward, but over here, they are way down in there. So, yeah.
So you don't end up with fuel everywhere.
Yeah, and then the new is right here. Look at that.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, nice.
Fancy.
So yeah, this way you won't lose more than a couple dribbles of fuel.
I do hate it when there's dribbles. Wait, no, don't go away.
Huh?
Don't go away, no. Looks like there's timber happening.
It's going down.
So, where are we on this?
I have 2 of the mount bolts out. I've got the one in the rear to do, but I've got this set up. I'm going to send this back up in the air. I've got all the bell housing bolts out. I think I said that last time, or all but a couple of them last time. And transmission's, yeah, completely unbolted. Got the axle nuts off. That one's soaking because the axle's stuck in the hub.
Ooh.
I'm not. Shocker, Toyota. They don't believe in rust proofing any of their hardware.
Yeah, been there.
Yeah, that Highlander over there, had about the same mileage as this, and I went through a couple cutoff wheels and a couple Sawzall blades getting the exhaust off.
Sounds familiar.
Not fun times.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean we're pretty close. We're jamming on it.
Cool. Call me back over when something exciting happens. Alright, we're gonna see if I can snake these spark plugs out of here. I'm gonna do the two awful ones first, just to get the misery out of the way. Yeah, that looks like it was a healthy running motorcycle. Cool. Here's a new one for comparison. I don't think these were junk or anything, but, you know, replace them before something goes wrong. Then you won't have problems. I'll get these gapped and throw them back in there. And then air filter. And then I start putting fluids back in, bleed the brakes, and I guess I need to look into this before I go putting anything back on here, because I'm sure that snake's all over this bike. I know at a bare minimum we're replacing these terminals, this wire going to the starter solenoid. Yeah. Guess I should read the instructions, huh? The plugs are done, the new quick disconnect is on and looking resplendent, so now it is time to start looking at our cable kit here, and wow. I mean, these cables weigh a ton. There's some quality here. Look at multiple layers of heat shrink, nice coating. Gosh, this cable weighs like a pound, which, you know, a lot of weight isn't exactly what you want on a super bike, but I'll take reliability in this case. And then we've got a whole bunch of cleaning wipes, looks like. It came with gloves, which is very nice of them. We've got some boots for our cable ends, bits of foam, some heat shrink, and color-coded zip ties. What is this? A pad saturated with a plastic protectant. Okay. Nose pick. Alright, I guess I gotta go to the internet for actual instructions here. But it looks like we've got probably a positive and negative cable. This one has a blue zip tie on it. No idea what these are for. Guess we'll find out. Guess I should probably remove my battery, which looks like we got ourselves a couple of 10s and an 8. So a bit has had to come off here. I took off the that side panel there, which got me access to the starter motor. I was able to take off our stock cable here. Yeah, you can tell this bike's been down before. Fairing support's a little boogered up, but this goes all the way back up through here to the starter solenoid. Here is the positive battery cable. It's also getting replaced. And then there's the negative, which goes and bolts on like the inside of the frame right here. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get to that, but we'll figure it out at some point. So this cable is what goes there. And I'm just going to use the included zip ties to zip tie this to the old cable and then pull it through the frame. And I think that's going to be the easiest way to install this. If you're happy, raise your hands up. Rear motor mount?
Yeah.
It smells good under here. Okay, so here's where I'm at with the wiring install. Starter cable connected, routed up to here. So that's good. That's ready to go on the starter solenoid. I haven't yet done anything with the positive wire. I gotta cut and recrimp these guys. Negative wire, I'm having to do this nightmare. It attaches on the inside of the frame right here. And so I have to go in from this side with a long extension with an 8mm on the end of it to get that main ground connection off. There we go. It is pretty much impossible to see it, but it's in there. Now I have to figure out how to get the nut out without dropping it. So I got that ground out. There's this bundle of grounds that I'm gonna leave alone. The ground wire has one of these as well, but I have no idea what it's meant to go to because the stock ground wire has nothing like that on it. And then there's this other ground wire, and this is the engine to frame ground. And that, I had to undo the rest of the what are they, 17 millimeter big ol' hex things, so I can move this bracket out of the way. And it attaches to the engine up in there with a bolt that I have no idea how I'm gonna get back in. I'll take that off. That is this guy right here, I think. And then I have to fish the. I don't know how I'm gonna do that back up. The tank is really in the way for this. If the tank was out of the way, it'd be easy. But I don't know how. I don't understand how this all works. This might take 2 people. So I've got to get these 3 lugs with this tiny screw, and they bolt in on the back side of this support here. So I might have to call in a mulligan and get some help from Tyler to get that bolt started. Why isn't it a stud with a nut on it? That would be doable. This is not. What'd you catch?
Hey Jake,
Yeah.
you done with your bike yet?
No, I'm waiting for you to come help me with something.
Must be nice having help and still losing. I wonder how heavy these are.
Bench it. Why would you do that? So if you need a transmission removed, he's
Don't
your
call
guy.
me.
If you need a
If it's anything besides a Toyota.
if you need a dash cam installed, I guess I'm your man for that. So what have we proven here exactly?
This looks terrible.
I've got 3 eyelets here that all have to go on this screw. Okay, so 3 eyelets on that screw. Doesn't leave a lot of threads loose. But you know where the screw goes? On the back side of this.
Oh.
Completely blind. It's real fun.
Yeah. Be right back.
All the grounds are grounded. So now I just cut off the positive cable. Gotta strip those, and those attached to here. The heat shrink covers that. Just take a look at the difference between the old and new cables. And obviously there's a whole bunch of coverings over this, but I mean, even the accessory little cable is larger than the factory starter cable, so it should be a bigger problem. So, fun fact about the Aprilias, they have nylon fuel tanks, and nylon swells and expands when it is exposed to ethanol. So, as a result, getting those bullholes to line up took about an hour. Now I'm going to put 3.5 liters of oil in the oil tank, fill up the coolant, bleed the brakes, and adjust the chain tension.
Well, I guess I got nothing better to do since I won an hour and a half ago.
Yeah, whatever. So there is quite a bit of slack in the chain. You really want like a ½ inch. That's about a full inch. So big ol', what size is that?
Well, 1 5/8, so probably what,
1 5/8. Sure.
32, I think.
So break the 1 5/8 free. And a couple of 12 mil, 13? What were these again? The jam nuts? 13 mil jam nuts, and then we can
Just talking to Alec.
adjust.
He finally woke up.
Look at this clutch fluid though. Can't wait to bleed that. This looks like fun.
Yeah. Don't call OSHA.
Ah yes, the normal Scion with the normal motor mount.
Transmission.
Apparently Tyler actually found valid TikTok life hacks. Cool. So I guess you do that while I'm pumping fluid in, and then when it looks clean again, we're good.
Yeah. Pump slowly.
Okay, we're gonna see if it works. But first, I've got to reset the service light by pushing and holding, what is it? The lap timer, trigger, and R for 5 seconds. Yay, no more service light. Yeah, the high beam flasher is also for your lap timer. It's been 2 hours and 23 minutes since I hooked the battery back up. Alright, so here's a clip of it starting this morning. So there's a thing back here, this little box. I think this is, oh, up. Yeah, it was upside down. I think this is the tilt sensor. It rattles around and, okay, let's put that back in there. And that is a fuel pump cutoff so it doesn't go, you know, pouring fuel everywhere. .6 at idle. I think the battery's a little unhappy, so I'll probably need to get a new one. It's like 10 p.m. now, so I'm gonna go home. Next video on the Scion, we will have the transmission apart for diagnostics to some extent. Figure out what's going on here. That is, if we can ever get this stupid CV axle out of here. But yeah, hopefully it's just an input shaft bearing and nothing else is damaged too badly. I'm ready for sleep.